Hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike, I am the Nightwing Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So, with that being said, the off season right now is full of rumors and it's also rooted in the truth, but today we are getting some of the truth coming out. And seeing as how Zikz wasn't really involved with TSM after Peter Yang came up to be head coach after a bit because maybe the team was winning a lot more scrims with Peter. Maybe Zikz overall just had an argument with a lot of the players and couldn't do it. But Zikz will be joining 100 Thieves as their League of Legends head coach because probably unbest known to everybody. No, everybody knows he was let go by 100 Thieves. Papa Smithy is wasting no time in trying to obviously make 100 Thieves get back to their playoff status to the LCS. Remember when 100 Thieves first joined the LCS for franchising, they obviously got first. They got second overall on the split. They were able to go to Worlds in their first year, and 2019 was just not so good to them. They had a lot of struggles. They had so much overall problems to deal with, you know, switching out certain players. You had coaching problems. You had players just not performing well at all. And is Zikz going to be a good fit for making the team overall better? We're going to have to also see who they sign in the offseason, but let's read about this acquisition. Zikz is the second biggest offseason acquisition for 100 Thieves so far. League of Legends coach Zikz has already found a new home to call home for the upcoming season. Zikz has joined 100 Thieves after TSM that announced it was parting ways with the 26-year-old coach earlier. It looks like this offseason will be a big one for 100 Thieves fan. Before signing Zikz, the team made a huge acquisition by picking up well-respected analyst and former LCK caster Papa Smithy to be the team's general manager. Many LCS fans believe that under their new leadership, 100 Thieves could make some big moves before 2020. Then obviously they posted about it on here as well. They posted about, you know, Zikz and Papa Smithy talking to each other about things like that. Let me see if you guys can actually hear that. You guys can hear that, can't you?
Alright guys, this is officially the start of the 2020 LCS program at 100 Thieves. And what better way to start right up the top. Papa Smithy is the GM of the League of Legends program here, and I want to introduce you to our new coach for the 2020 season, none other than Tony Zikz Gray. Are we sticking with that? The full Zikz lol? Just
no.
Zikz?
Just Zikz.
Just Zikz.
Yeah.
When did the lol get removed? Were you thinking about moving titles? Like, what happened there?
Pretty much immediately. I wanted to get rid of it, but it just took a while for Riot to actually fully recognize
so it's on the Riot
as,
side. All right, we're watching you guys over there. So Tony, joining the program, joining 100 Thieves. Initial thoughts. I know it's still early days. We've only been getting you on board the last couple of days. How are we feeling over there?
I'm pretty excited overall. Obviously, to have the opportunity to work with you was something that really like drew me into 100 Thieves, like along with like I guess just in general like the brand itself. And
You're saying the right things already.
I guess like the overall mantra of like just taking what's not yours was something that really like stuck with me. Overall, I'm really excited for the opportunity and I'm excited for 2020.
So when it came to the 100 Thieves League of Legends program, pretty early on, we identified that we wanted to go in a new direction when it came to coaching staff. And when it came to what I was looking for, I tried to first look within. Like, I'm someone who tries to look at what kind of qualities I have, where my strengths are, but also where my weaknesses are. Like, it's a very different thing to come in and feel like you're already an authority on what it is like in the weeds, what all these players are like behind the cameras, where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are. I can't be that fresh off the plane, fresh off a broadcast career moving into the GM role. So my first thought when it came to looking at coaching staff was I want a North American coach who knows the scene really, really well, that has player respect, that I can kind of poke people, because especially if they've been around a while, everyone's going to have an opinion. and try to get someone who I knew I could count on for a project that honestly was a project that could go in many different directions.
I think one of the biggest reasons why I decided to make this move was within TSM, I didn't feel a very, very strong alignment. But talking a lot with Papa Smithy, just philosophically, like how he views running a team, how he views roster building, just everything aligned so well that it was a decision that was very easy for me to make.
I really needed someone who I could connect with on kind of a mental level and also align with well, because everybody's different. I don't want to get a second version of myself, but I want someone with competencies that I don't have that also I can be kind of very upfront with, and we can negotiate together kind of tough decisions that if left to one person, you might miss out on a second perspective. You can give me the reality checks, there's a lot of them. It turns out that you can't just come in and one-to-one copy a winning team and just get it going in a new region. Like, apparently there's regional nuances and culture and stuff involved, which sounds like rubbish to me, but that's what I'm hearing, is that apparently we're going to have to be really specific about kind of like how we target our success, and also mindful of just what the North American landscape is like. My view of what a GM should be is work really hard in identifying the right pieces, like we have with you as head coach, and then add value to those people and empower them to be the best they can be in their roles. And no BS, like that's what I look at. You were my number one choice for head coach for 2020 when it came to candidates in North America and around the world for the project I want to build with a focus on culture and growth. You were the person who was my first choice. So while we still have a lot of roster stuff up in the air, as we've said on previous videos, I got my first choice in coach. So, so far I'm feeling pretty damn good. My question to you is, like, if you were going to spell that out, especially to our, new 100 Thieves audience for you, what is your philosophy, and like what points are there that you think the fans should really appreciate and understand?
I guess in general, in terms of philosophy, things I believe in, like very much so, is like a level of like psychological safety and trust, like in the people around me, along with, I guess, like very straightforward goal setting that's realistic, and just making sure that we're really focused on, if we have a full development roster as an example from 2020, that our goals are going to be around development, not really around getting the most amount of wins now, but getting those wins later when we actually successfully develop those players, and that every single day we're looking for development, not a shortcut on how to win a game this weekend. I think that was one of the things that really resonated with me as a person that's always put a lot of trust in the people I work with. That's always been my number one focus, at times even to a fault in the past, but it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
So I think a lot of people have heard your name, they've seen you on stage. We already showed the hero shots, right? Madison Square Garden, CLG finally winning the big one. You were there. Going to the finals of MSI the year afterward in 2016, you were there. I even remember when I was talking to my really good friend Monte Cristo about you being his assistant coach, even before those times that most people remember. So like that's a long career. We're talking what, like 6 years or so, in the professional scene. How do you reflect on the good old days and then kind of the learnings of maybe the more recent years? And how do you take those learnings and put it together for the 100 Thieves phase of your career?
I definitely think what excites me in general about, like, I guess, like that reflection of looking in the past and then looking to where we are now, it's the like future that we have with 100 Thieves is almost that of like a clean slate in terms of our like management and coaching staff overall is completely like revamped and kind of starting fresh. So we get to really like sculpt what 100 Thieves is going to look like. And along with all of the experience that I have from all of my past successes, I think that came with a lot of, I guess, really important lessons to take away, especially surrounding, I guess, how I view coaching. I've tried a lot of different styles to kind of see what best fits me and what best fits League of Legends in general. And I think what I'm currently...
All right, so what I'm going to quickly interject with is that you can clearly tell that his type of personality was not working with TSM. He even says in the video, my viewpoints and TSM viewpoints just did not align, and he looks a lot more happier not being in TSM, so that's a good thing. So let's move forward.
Currently at now is probably the best understanding of what I feel is the best way to coach currently. That's something that I've put into TSM's culture when I was there last split, and something that I really want to help build within 100 Thieves.
So Tony, I want to put you on the spot a little bit. Hot topic about NA at Worlds, player development, roster direction. Teams have tried stacking rosters, teams have tried many different things, but we don't have the specifics yet, but at least our ideas of where we're at in terms of kind of roster construction and honestly NA talent development, because it doesn't feel like just the kind of topping up with imports is actually going to find that success. And that feels like a different conversation to maybe 2 years ago, where it felt like we were close, but not quite there.
I think that within NA, there's been a lapse of judgment when it comes to scouting specifically. You hear about all these stories of, like in China, for example, the
development
ladder,
houses and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And the ladder itself is like, as soon as one person pops in to Challenger, that person's already been talked to by multiple teams.
Yeah.
And that's something that we don't currently have in NA, that, we could just have a lot of talent. For example, Biofrost was primarily unknown until tested on TSM, and then now look at him. He's one of the top 3 supports in NA.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a place definitely where just looking for talent is going to be something that I'm sure we're not doing enough of. So that's something that we plan on definitely looking to improve on, along with, in general, I guess, just looking to do more of the development side of talent and make sure that we do understand that they will need extra resources, rather than just putting them just in academy or just having them on LCS and just hoping that there's development. We're going to actually put a lot more resources toward actually making sure that the pieces that we really want to develop are getting extra attention. For the 2020 season, I'm super excited to finally be joining 100 Thieves. I feel like within the last few years, I've hopped teams a good amount, but I'm super excited and I feel like I'll be here for a very, very long time. I've said it before, but the philosophies align really, really well, and I can definitely see myself and Papa working together for years to come. So I'm really excited to create something special for you guys.
Well, as far as I can tell, championship window, it opens now. Let's get to work.
Oh my god, Zikz gonna be on 100 Thieves, and he getting the big paychecks. So yeah, it's just been something that we're probably going to look at and go with different ways. On the topic of 100 Thieves making changes, Amazing is exploring his options and for getting a team in 2020. After a disheartening 8-11 season, League of Legends Amazing has decided to move on from 100 Thieves and test free agency for 2020. The jungler's short stint with the organization was marked by disappointment since his signing in May, and now he's looking to make his way back into the LCS limelight. Amazing tweeted, 100 Thieves has allowed me to explore my options for 2020. I enjoyed my time there and was happy about the amount of enthusiasm everyone brought to the table. Despite a rough season, I always feel supported, and also special thanks to Prolly for having the guts to bring me in. Okay. Despite 100 Thieves' underwhelming LCS summer split, Amazing had some highlights. The jungler often opted for tanky team fighters to support his carries and still boasted a respectable 3.0 KDA, and Amazing says Wani play was impressive, going 5-2 on the champion with a 5.69 KDA. And so we're looking at every single thing getting a lot better for 100 Thieves. They want to take the organization and roster since their League of Legends spot into a new direction, and I am looking forward to that. Huni reportedly agrees to a $2.3 million contract with Dignitas. Dignitas, yes, these guys, the people who at one point had I'm a Cutie Pie on their roster, is going to give someone $2.3 million for a contract. Not this Dignitas, because that's full of old people. Dignitas in LOL. Yeah, that guy. Not Dignitas in LOL because, they're obviously, in other games as well. But this Dignitas. I want people to fundamentally understand what the hell I'm saying. This Dignitas. The one who had this roster before. the one that had Someday, Chaser, you guys know all the good old days. Huni agrees to a $2.3 million extension to stay with the team. Now, I'm going to give my short, quick analysis about this move overall, because I feel like this is something that is more or less so going to be rooted in me kind of sounding like a hater rather than being proud for him. I'm proud that he got this contract. That is a lot of money. He is literally set for life. That's just how it's going to work, right? Is he worth $2.3 million, though? But let's talk about the overall contract. League of Legends top laner Huni is reportedly finishing up negotiations on a contract extension for 2 years with Team Dignitas, worth over $2 million USD. According to a report from Jacob Wolf, Huni will remain with Dignitas' roster for the sum of $2.3 million over 2 years in guaranteed good old green salary. This sum makes him one of the highest paid LCS players in history and ranks among the highest reported highest reported salaries in the world. Huni's contract was expiring as this report came out, alongside jungler Lyra's contract as well. According to Wolf, Lyra's contract has not been renewed. Interesting. So this is the problem with this, is that is he worth $2.3 million? That's the issue, because we look at other big signings and did those things overall pay off? This is the thing that you have to kind of understand, that sometimes these things don't exactly pay off. And let's look at some examples. TL did this with Reignover, and it didn't really pay out. Reignover was the highest paid jungler, and it didn't work out. We look at it from Peanut's perspective from the LCK. Highest paid jungler in the LCK, did not work out. And also, Impact was signed in 2017 for a $3.4 million contract, making this the second most valuable deal in the LCS. I remember that. I remember oh my goodness. I remember Impact's contract being worth around $1 million. Now, around $3.4 million? That's crazy. And this is the interesting fact, is that he's also had some high highs and some low lows. So thinking about it in a different way is how it's going to work out for Dignitas. And coming in, they want to obviously keep a relatively huge fan base. They're going to have a fan base from obviously, being a part of the older days in the LCS. They're obviously going to have a fan base because, well, their name just brings in people to talk about the team in general. And that's the overall thing that really boils down to, is that what can they surround him with? If they're giving him $2.3 million, they must have a lot of money coming in somewhere. Obviously, you have the older Clutch Gaming brand. They're still under the Houston Rockets brand, because that's obviously who, bought into the LCS when it was announced for franchising. Then you also have the fact that with that much money coming in from that sports team, they can literally buy whoever they want. I'm pretty sure their roster looks like right now Huni and Cody's son. I'm pretty sure those are the people they want to keep, and Demonte. I wouldn't really re-sign Lyra. I think if they want to move towards a new era of Dignitas, I think that you would want to get rid of Lyra. No offense to him. I think he played good, overall for the year, but is he someone that you could see yourself winning a championship with? Probably not. And that's just something that we're just not really going to see with him. I think that he has hit his ceiling before, and I think that he's never really hit that ceiling ever again. Demonte, maybe you keep him for one more year, and then after that, he kind of, leaves because he's been on the same roster for a long time. That's kind of how a lot of players usually see that. They stay on a roster for a long time, and then they just leave, and that's just how, pro gamers and, professional athletes do it. They leave teams after a long time just to always try out something different. So, what do you guys think about Huni agreeing to a $2.3 million contract extension with Dignitas? And what do you guys think about Zikz joining 100 Thieves? I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.